The baby is another 6 months away from being born, so this post is a bit too early, but my wife thinks that she will need long-term help, say for the first 2 years, from her parents to help take care of the baby. I have a real problem with anyone living with us in our house because I have worked hard to earn my freedoms, and I don't want the in-laws staying in my house judging me for playing video games at 4 a.m. or lecturing me on how to be a parent, etc. In-laws are foreign, so if they come, then they will stay at our home. I am open to the first 9 months to 1 year of the baby's life having full help from the in-laws if need be, but I don't want their influence in the upbringing of the child once the child starts forming its cognitive abilities. If I don't protest, then I worry that my wife will lean on them for support for 4 to 5 years, etc. It is already too much of a sacrifice for me to have anyone in my house for more than a week, so it took a lot to even agree on their presence for the first 9 to 12 months. Oh, and her main draw is that they will be able to cook healthy food for her. I feel my wife is being unreasonable with her stance of needing help for however long that she may need. Am I the idiot? Edit. Wow. I wasn't expecting hundreds of responses. Thank you. I will take all the advice and discuss with my missus again. To clarify a few things that are repeating in Theme 1, I have no need to play video games until 4 a.m, and I don't. I only stated it as an example of in-laws making snarky comments while living in my house. 2. The in-laws are certain to eventually move back, so I'm not worried about them settling permanently. But you're right, an extension to their stay might happen if we have a second child. 3. I haven't given her a reason to trust me with helping with chores yet, but I will get started now. Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1, you're the idiot. Your wife thinks correctly that you are going to need childcare. Your plan is for her to work full-time outside the home starting when the baby is 3 months old, and for you to work full-time from home with no leave and to have no childcare. That is a preposterous plan that absolutely will not work. Your wife is being realistic because she knows you're going to need childcare when you're both working. You have no plan, and what you are proposing is impossible. Comment 2. Genuinely, I cannot blame her for thinking she will need help if you're staying up until 4 a.m. to play video games, and, by your words, she does most of the labour. Also, it's not just your house, it's her house too. Now, for the update. The tension at home reached a tipping point when my wife casually mentioned that her parents had already started looking at properties near us to rent for the 2-year stint. I completely lost it. We had a massive argument, which ended in us not talking for a day or so. 2 days after the fight, I came home from work early and found my wife in tears. Her parents had been involved in a minor car accident. They were okay, but the event shook us all. It put everything into perspective, and suddenly the idea of her parents being around just in case didn't seem so terrible. This led to a long overdue heart-to-heart. My wife admitted she was scared about being a new mom and felt she needed her parents as a safety net. I finally opened up about my fears of losing independence and feeling suffocated. We both cried it out and started to understand where the other was coming from. We spent the next few days in a kind of negotiation limbo, weighing pros and cons, discussing boundaries, and talking about how we could make this work for both of us. Then, out of nowhere, my boss dropped a bombshell on me. An opportunity for a short-term project in another city. It would mean relocating for 6 months, but with a significant pay raise. It was the perfect distraction from our in-law debate, and something that could potentially change our financial situation, making the need for long-term help less pressing. After some intense discussion, we agreed that I would take the job, and my wife would stay with her parents during the project. It seemed like an ideal compromise. She gets the support she needs, and I get some space and time to contribute more financially. So, it's decided. I'm leaving for the project next week, and my wife will move in with her parents the week after. We plan to revisit the living situation after I return, but for now we've agreed to put the 2-year stay on hold. And in an unexpected twist, my proactive chore-doing actually started to make a difference. My wife noticed, and it's helped her feel more supported. Plus, I've got to admit, a tidier house is a less stressful house. So yeah, that's the update. 2 weeks ago, I was worried about losing my freedom, and now I'm about to move to a different city for half a year. Life is wild. Now, for the comments. Comment 1. You're the idiot for taking the job in another city right after your in-laws got into an accident. Your wife needs you now more than ever, and you're choosing money over family. Being physically present is part of supporting your spouse, not just sending money from afar. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Life throws curveballs, and you're dealing with them responsibly. Taking the job doesn't mean you don't care about your wife's parents. It's about long-term stability for your family. Plus, you've been helping out at home, which shows your support. Good luck on the new adventure. Comment 3. Not the idiot. And it sounds like a win-win situation to me. You're being supportive by ensuring financial security, which is as important as emotional support. Plus, it was a mutual decision with your wife, not something you unilaterally decided. Good on you for being proactive with the chores too. Now, for the next story. I am an overweight person, but I did manage to lose 30 pounds in the last 4 months. I cut back on my calories and started walking everywhere within a few miles from where I live. I am losing weight slowly but healthily. When I went to my family's Thanksgiving gathering, they told me the turkey would be ready in 3 hours. I grabbed a single Hershey's Kiss from the candy bowl that they had out for everybody, and immediately both my stepfather and my mother went nuclear on me. They were yelling at me in front of the whole extended family that the fact that I grabbed a single piece of candy was proof that I did not want to lose weight and keep improving my health. They claimed they were shaming me because they loved me. I responded by taking a cab home half an hour later. They see nothing wrong with their over-the-top reaction, and they see nothing wrong with dismissing the massive progress I already made. My doctor told me a couple of weeks ago that I am officially no longer obese, for crying out loud. I do not need this from them. But my sister called and told me I should apologize for leaving the way I did and souring the evening for everybody else. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1, not the idiot. Good job on what you have been able to do so far. It's perfectly okay to have a treat while trying to get healthy. Your parents are well out of order. That is not the way to support you. Set up some boundaries with them and make sure they know if they cross them you will end the conversation and leave. Comment 2, not the idiot. First, congrats on your progress. That's awesome, and I'm super happy for you. You're not the idiot. You should leave when they act like that. You deserve to protect your peace. Comment 3, if that's how they react over a piece of candy, I can't imagine the things they would say during the feast. Now for the update. After storming out of that family gathering, I decided to go no contact for a bit to clear my head. Well, that bit turned out to be just the calm before the storm. First off, my little cousin, bless her heart, apparently went on a rant after I left, defending me and calling out our family's toxic attitude. It caused such a scene that my stepdad actually left the house to cool down. My phone was blowing up with messages from her giving me the play-by-play. It seems she's been quietly observing and took my side fiercely. She ended up getting grounded for speaking out, but she told me it was worth it to stand up for what's right. It sparked a family divide I never saw coming. Meanwhile, I kept to my routine, and guess what? I hit another milestone, down another 5 pounds. I was on cloud 9 until I got a letter in the mail from my stepdad. No return address, just his handwriting. He wrote an apology, a genuine, heartfelt one, admitting how his own insecurities about his weight influenced his behavior towards me and how proud he was of my progress. He confessed to attending therapy and wanting to mend our relationship. And here's the jaw-dropper. My mother showed up at my doorstep, unannounced, 2 days ago. We hadn't spoken since the incident. She came alone with a peace offering, a homemade healthy meal prep kit and a scrapbook filled with photos of me over the years, showing my journey. We talked for hours. She cried, I cried. She admitted that she was projecting her fears of losing me to health issues because of her sister's passing due to obesity-related complications. She never learned how to express her concerns healthily and apologized for the hurtful way she acted. To cap it all off, my cousins, aunts and uncles have been sending me messages of support. One of my aunts even asked me to help her start a weight loss journey. It's like that one moment of conflict started a ripple effect of self-reflection and growth in my family. I'm cautiously optimistic about these developments. It's a lot to process, but I feel like for the first time in a long time, there's hope for a healthier family dynamic, in every sense of the word. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. You took the necessary steps for your mental health, and it's great to see that it's leading to positive changes in your family. It's not your responsibility to fix your family, but it's heartwarming that your actions inadvertently prompted them to reflect and reach out. Keep prioritizing your well-being and let them work on their issues. Sometimes a little space is what everyone needs to grow and heal. Comment 2. You're the idiot for going no contact without trying to communicate your feelings first. Your little cousin shouldn't have had to defend you. That was your responsibility. While it's good that your family is taking steps to apologize, the situation might not have escalated if you'd addressed the issues directly. Communication is key in families, and it's concerning that you chose to walk away instead of trying to resolve things together. Comment 3. Not the idiot, and kudos to you for sticking to your guns and continuing your healthy routine amidst family drama. It's impressive that your stand has not only helped you lose weight, but also encouraged your family to acknowledge their behavior and work towards change. Your courage to take a step back has led to a ripple effect of self-improvement in your family. Keep up the good work, and remember, self-care isn't selfish. Now for the next story. I, 22-year-old male, reported my family, 29-year-old female, 56-year-old female, 56-year-old male, for owning too many unregistered animals including rabbits and guinea pigs, which led to the council visiting my family. The council found them to have exceeded the allowed number of animals, and as a result, they made my family give up some of the animals, including cats, rabbits, and guinea pigs. Now my family has disowned me and blocked me on all social media platforms. My mother accuses me of doing it only to hurt them, but I did it for the well-being of the animals. We have been evicted multiple times because my family keeps hoarding animals, regardless of the house we live in. My family now refers to me as a jerk and questions how I can sleep at night. I feel genuinely remorseful and confused about what to think. Can you all help? Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Do you keep getting evicted because you keep reporting them? Are they breeders? Are the animals living in a poor quality of life? Why do you report them? Comment 2. Not the idiot hoarding animals is animal abuse. It came with a price, but it was the right thing to do. Wouldn't want to live there, that's for sure. Now, for the update. After what felt like many months of silence following the council incident, there's been a huge turn of events in my family dynamic, and I'm still processing, but I need to share it with someone. I've been doing a lot of introspection and community service at a local animal shelter to come to terms with everything. It's there that I began to understand the depth of my family's issues with animal hoarding and the impact it had on both the animals and our family life. Out of the blue, I received a letter. It was from my sister. She explained how the loss of the animals had initially been devastating, but it forced the family to confront the reality of the situation. She shared that our parents had begun attending therapy for hoarding behavior, which is something I never thought I'd hear. She also wrote about how the house has changed. They've renovated and created a healthy, open space, something we haven't seen in years. There's even a little garden where the rabbit hutches used to be. But here's the kicker. My sister said she missed me, she missed her brother. And she believed our parents did too, even though they were still hurt and prideful. So I mustered up the courage and replied. We exchanged a few letters, tiptoeing around the deeper issues at first. But then we finally met up. It was awkward for sure, but there was a sense of relief that was almost palpable between us. After a few of these meetups, she asked me to come home for dinner. Just thinking about it made my heart race, but I agreed. When I arrived, it was surreal. The house smelled of fresh paint instead of animals, and it was quiet. My parents were there, looking older and a little worn, but there was something different in their eyes. Dinner was full of stilted conversation at first, but then came the apologies. My mum broke down, explaining how she realized the animals needed more than they could give. My dad admitted to being stubborn because he didn't want to face the truth. They didn't explicitly say they were sorry to me, but it was there in their ease and in the way they described their changes. As for forgiveness, it's a work in progress. I can't erase the past, and there are scars for sure, but seeing my parents take steps to heal themselves and acknowledging the part I played in this, even if it was painful, has brought a new sense of understanding and compassion I didn't expect. We've started to rebuild our relationship slowly. There's a lot to work through, and trust needs to be re-earned on all sides. However, there's now hope where there was none before. I'm cautiously optimistic about the future, and for the first time in a long while, I feel like I've got my family back, even though it's in a new, healthier form. Now for the comments. Comment 1. You're the idiot for not being more supportive from the get-go. It's clear your parents struggled with hoarding and needed professional help, not silence from their child. You should have been part of the solution, not part of the emotional strain. But hey, at least you're trying to make amends now. Just remember, healing takes time, and it's not just about you. Comment 2. Not the idiot. It's a tough situation to be in, but you're handling it with grace. Your parents had to recognize their problem and seek help on their own. It's great that you're giving them a chance to prove they've changed. Forgiveness is a journey, and it's heartwarming to hear that your family is on the path to recovery. Keep that hope alive. Comment 3. Not the idiot at all. You needed to protect your own mental health during that period of silence. It's not easy dealing with hoarding, and it's not your fault they started hoarding in the first place. It's fantastic that they're getting therapy and making changes. Rebuilding those bridges takes time, and you're doing it the right way by taking it slow and steady. Kudos to you for being open to reconnecting with your family. Now, for the next story. If you liked this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.